Hi guys, Paul Pluta on the Paul Pluta channel. Today guys, I'm doing a paid review for George. This is paid review 20A37. Before we start this, let's do a quick wristwatch check. What am I wearing today? I'm wearing a Patek Philippe 5196 Calatrava. This is a yellow gold manual wine Calatrava. Just absolutely gorgeous. George asked me the question, what is going on with the Patek Nautilus market? Am I wrong, or did these used to be somewhat affordable? You know, depreciate off of original MSRP, etc. Happy Easter, sir. So George wants to know about the Nautilus market, and I gotta tell you, stop. Hello. So what's happening to Patek's market there in the Nautilus market? And I want to say this, the Nautilus and the Aquanaut market, highly desired, and it's an interesting thing. You know, the Nautilus, it was a Patek which I can remember when they were available at retail, and I preferred the Calatrava. I remember looking at a friend of mine had a 5711, a work colleague, not really a friend. And I said, you know, I prefer my 5107. How you can get it so wrong? So what's happening there? Let's have a bit of a talk about the different Nautilus models there. What's happening in the Patek market there? And that's an interesting, very interesting question. It's a very interesting question. So with the Patek market itself there, let's look at the Nautiluses. Let's look. Look, the 5980. Okay, first there's 5711. 5711. What is happening with 5711s? Now, the 5711 is probably the hottest. It's the classic three-hand. It uses the 3-2-4 movement, which is the same movement they use in a lot of Calatravas. Big rotor, center seconds. It's kind of an iconic model. It's probably, out of all the Nautiluses, it is the most desired. Now, they do the 5711. You can get that. The most desired is the bluey gray dial. You can get it with a white dial. You can also get a 5711 in all gold. Rose gold, man, rose gold. And I gotta tell you, honestly, the 5711, it's hot. That is the hottest watch. How are prices on the 5711? Well, they were selling many times over retail there. What sort of happened now to 5711 prices? Well, I gotta tell you, man, what has happened is they themselves, 5711, what has happened with the 5711? And it's actually it's soft, but they're still hugely in demand, and that's the thing there. Prices have fallen a bit. The 5711, they had a white gold version, which had it was on a strap, a leather strap. That's probably the least expensive. The steel version, highly desired. At the moment, on the Chrono 24, there's 568 5711s on at the moment. Now, what are we going to be paying? Well, in Aussie dollars there, 80,000 for a steel 5711. So, you know, there's 80 is actually a Russian, so let's go American. 88,000 for a steel with a blue dial. So that's Aussie dollars there. Okay, so that's, you know, they're very. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So prices on the 5711. It seems to be, in my opinion, there a lot of pieces on the market there. The 57, the other model that's very popular is the 5712, which uses the micro rotor. That's the 5712. It uses the 240 movement. They were always very, very popular. The cheapest, again, it's the white gold on the leather strap. It's funny, the steel on the bracelet is more expensive. That's correct. And if we want a steel on a bracelet, okay, there's some Russian sellers there, but let's get a proper seller. These Russians, I don't think you could really buy from a Russian unless you know the language. How are you going to communicate there? 88,000. Okay, where's this seller here? This seller here is in, you know, so that's in Monaco, 88,000 Aussie dollars. So expensive. So how many of those? They got 466. These are supposed to be rare models. The next model is the 5980, which is the chronograph Nautilus. I love that model there. They do that. I think it's the most beautiful in the two-tone. They also do it in solid gold, but they also do it in steel. That is a beautiful 5980, the chronograph, and we've got 527 on Chrono 24, and you're going to be looking about 136,000 Aussie dollars. There's one for 116. These are Aussie dollars. Expensive. The other Nautilus, which is very popular, is the 5726. They don't have the 5726. Shit, have they got the 57? No, it's 7 to the 57. Oh yeah, there it is. 5726. That's the annual calendar. 5726. Sorry, I had a blonde moment there. 5726. Let's have a look. And we've got 292 of them for sale. $127,000. Wowzers. Now, out of interest there, if we look at how many 5196s they have, that's the Patek that I'm wearing, there's 99. So it seems to me these are such hot models. Why do the dealers have so many more than, say, a standard 5196? Let's look at a 5127. That's the other white. I've got one of those. There's 32 for sale. 32. How about a 6006? How many of those are for sale? 26. Let's try a 6,000. 24. So as you can see, these Nautiluses, the dealers seem to be hogging them. This is the whole thing. The dealers themselves there, they seem to have hogged these things. And I mean, I got to be totally honest with you. It's kind of a bubbly market. The dealers love them. They want them. They're hot. But why is there so many for sale? And that's because they honestly, dealers have become attracted to them. Now, in my opinion, the Nautilus and the Aquanaut, they are great watches. If you can get one at retail, pull the trigger. Are they worth the massive premiums? That's a good question. Are they worth the massive premiums? And I'm kind of I'm afraid to possibly say possibly not. Possibly not. And that's the thing. These watches here, they go for premiums. Is it worth the money? Is it worth the massive premiums? And I've got to be honest with you, Aquanaut and Nautiluses, I think it's too much hype. I think you're much safer buying some traditional Pateks. Traditional Calatravas, I think, are excellent value. You can build for the price of a single Nautilus, say a 5711. I could have. Okay, let's look at my own collection there. I'll do this in Aussie dollars because I've been quoting Aussie dollars. So the price of a 5711 is about 80 to 90,000. For that price there, annual calendar 5035, 30 grand Aussie, say. World time 35, that's 65,000. 65,000. Throw in a 5196, 20,000, say. Oh, it's probably worth 25. 65 plus 20, 85. It's worth three clear Pateks, 3 reference point Pateks. Annual calendar 5035, 5110 world time, and a Calatrava manual wind. 3 different movements. We've got a 315, that's the big rotor, that's actually the similar movement that's in the 5711. The 5711's got a 324, which is basically the 315 at a lower beat rate. 315, 240 with the micro rotor in the world time, and a 215 manual wind Calatrava movement in the 5196, or 215 manual wind Patek movements. They use that movement in many models. So I mean, for 90,000 Australian dollars, would you rather have one 5711 or 3 reference points Pateks? And that is the problem. That is the problem. Is it worth the money? Is it really worth that money there? That's something I don't know. I don't think it is worth the money. I don't think it's worth the money. And look, the Nautilus is a great range. They are beautiful, but is it worth the massive premium? It's the same thing can be said for the Rolex market. Is it worth paying so much more for a Hulk, a Batman, a Pepsi, a Panda? Is it really worth the money? And that's the tricky thing. It's very, very hard to work that out. That is the hard part. Is it worth the money? And I think that's kind of the biggest question that's there. That's the biggest dilemma that's there. So is it worth the money? Which that's a very much a tricky question. So is it worth the money? That's a good question. It's a hard one. Is it worth the money? Is anything worth anything? I kind of think the prices now, they have come back a bit. These hyped models, what's going on with the Nautilus market? Well, it's supply and demand. It's economics. Did they used to be somewhat affordable? That they were, but it's become very cool. It's supply and demand. Depreciate off of original. Well, no, they're selling for way over because the demand is so high, and Patek won't churn out more steel watches. Terry Stern has been very, very firm in his undertaking there. He's not going to just churn out the models that just the demand says there. He's going to release them in the same numbers they've always done. So what is going on? It's economics, supply and demand. So even though we've got COVID and everything's a disaster, prices have come back a bit, but they're not going to go anywhere near retail. They're not. That's the honest truth. So am I wrong, or did these used to be somewhat affordable? It's called supply and demand. And if you can get one for MSRP, pull the trigger. I'm Paul Pluta. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. And don't be afraid to put some nasty comments below. And please, guys, paid reviews. That's how I survive on YouTube. Paid reviews keep me here. $50 US for a paid review. This is what keeps me making these vids. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. And there we go, one of the most beautiful Pateks of modern times, a key reference point in Patek history, the 5035, proudly part of the ArchieLuxury wristwatch collection.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mark Goldberg for ArchieLuxury AC3, the Pontiff Satin de Ville. I want to sincerely thank you for having sat through this video because I know it was awful, but you know what? You do it for the greater good of humanity. Thank you so much. Now, a couple of quick pieces of homework. Now that you've watched this video, I would like you to hit thumbs up. If you must, hit thumbs down, but if you'd hit thumbs up, I would especially appreciate it. Go ahead and leave a really nasty comment and tell him how awful this content was, but most importantly of all, the entire reason that I am linking up with ArchieLuxury in the first place. I am a published author, Let Dogs Be Dogs, available in bookstores, Amazon, and electronically somewhere near you. Remember, ArchieLuxury, he's not just a figment of your imagination.